Okay, this video will actually be me discussing on the topic of relationships and my advice on them. So, just about all of us are in the same boat on this situation. You do want to find that special someone, but at the same, and even if you do, and you're going through this dark times, and they've still stuck out through the most dangerous of times, then you are truly lucky in this life. It is truly and truly blessed. But for those who don't have that special someone when it comes to this, and you most likely did, but it was actually a robot in disguise, and the person's just being controlled, as most are in these cases, whether it be a male, a female, or a male for just about anybody that's out there or whatever. Um, it's crazy because it's like you got to really, really guard your emotions when it comes to this, you know. Um, you want to give your heart to someone out there. You do. You truly do. But they're gonna, when it comes to a new relationship, they're gonna manipulate the situation to their benefit, not yours. They're gonna sabotage you. They're gonna ruin your reputation. They're gonna ruin any chance you have at getting a relationship, and they're gonna destroy it. Because one true thing about that is that a relationship actually brings forth, it's been known to truly bring forth, and I mean an actual legit good relationship has been known to bring forth really good energy. And it prevents that your own energy being siphoned off towards another source, of which they try to do when they make you when they try to sedate you in a miserable state, or the state of depression, a state of anguish, or whatever mind you would have in that category. So, but with this situation, it's like yeah, you definitely want to give your heart to someone out there. You want them to be able to sorry about that. You want them to be able to live life, to share their life with you as well as you would want to share your life with them. You know, it's not about money. It's not about opportunity. It's not about any of that crap. It's not about any of that. You want someone who you can actually spend and literally have someone to actually get through this trial of life that we all have to go through. It's definitely not easy, and that's easier said than done when it comes to actually surviving in the dating world when it comes to this. As for myself, I've actually chose to go monk, so that category doesn't really pertain to me too much. But I still will give my share of advice as far as what I think on this matter, though. Despite that, um, as far as things are concerned when it comes to this, you gotta understand that there is more to love than just love from another person. There's self-love. There's love and respect for yourself. But society will shame that. But remember, self-love is still love within itself. There is possibility you may be able to find a partner even in this corruptive, toxified society that we have. But you need to understand, if you truly wish to go that route, you gotta understand everybody is being sedated with these nanotech parasites that they're pilfering in the skies through their chemtrails. And chances are, if you're going for someone who is not aware, then your chances of actually having a legit person, and even if that person is aware, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a TI. They could be a perp. And that's where the problem comes in, because when it comes to dating, like, you don't know whether the person you're with is either a legit TI or an actual perp in disguise, you know? The devil is known to be using all kinds of tricks to fool people around him. All kinds of tricks. So, this is my warning to all TIs. If you are trying to go out there and find a potential partner, if you are going that route, but honestly, I advise you to literally have extreme caution when it comes to this, because there's no telling what could happen in a scenario like that, you know. Now, as for these picks that I have for you, I don't claim any rights to these. The name of where they have came from and who wrote them are all in there, so you can see. Now, this one I'm going to use as an example. The best relationship is not the one being shared in good times, but rather the one who has the staying power through rough times. That could be two different things. It could be either a good situation or a bad situation. There are situations to where there are some people who have dated uh, partners into where their partners were only actually aiding with their targeting, either willfully or remotely. So that's kind of like a double-edged sword with that one. Um, Feedback, care, fundamental, positive, social media, maintain, take connections. Now, you can't depend on social media for relationships. I'm just going to tell you that right now. A relationship face to face is an entirely different experience than one from a electronic device. It's completely different. And unfortunately, I feel like most people have been programmed to when it comes to relationships, like it's literally to the point to where like so many people are just doing it through the phone and shit. It's crazy. You, it's not as often times that you would see people actually just get into a relationship from a first person meeting basis and not an electronic basis. Most relationships actually are making connections through electronics. And it seems like this technical society that we live in now, it just keeps, it's like it's invading every aspect of life that we have, you know? It's invading everywhere, especially privacy. Like everything is being infiltrated and replaced with technology. They were replacing backpacks with technology. They're frequent they're replacing pens with technology now. They're replacing what else? Brooms. I can think of another things. Even freaking toilet paper dispensers. I could go on and on. Like there's way more stuff than that. There's a lot more stuff, and it seems like the more and more we get into this technical world, the more and more things become like more lazy, more dull, and less full of life. You know, technology itself is destroying Mother Nature in its own way, in actually many different ways, really. Um, I want you all to understand that love itself, where there's love, there will be hate. Well, no, I take that back. Hang on. Where there's love, there will be jealousy. Where there's jealousy, there will be envy, and where there's envy, that will turn. Oh, actually, jealousy and envy, they're pretty much the same thing. But you kind of get what I'm going with this. Where there's envy, there's hate. And remember, hate is a disease that destroys not only thyself, but thy enemy as well. It's not going to just destroy your enemy, but that's if your enemy allows themselves to be destroyed, because there are times where people end up just literally using the lifestyle of hate, and they wind up destroying themselves, and sometimes their enemies actually get off scot-free from the incident, and they'll get out of the crossfire before the bomb goes off. But most of the cases it destroys both, because you like it's just so much destruction, but the person's really destroying themselves as they're constantly going out of their way to try to destroy someone else. This world has become just far too toxic for actual real relationships right about now. I'm not gonna say don't date. I will never say that, but I'm just saying, like, you gotta understand the times from around, I want to say like around a good 30 years ago, 30 to like 40 years ago. The relationships back all the way back then, maybe even 50 years ago, really, all the way back then to now, were a heck of a lot different, way different. People were more on a connective level when it came to relationships. But as you can see with the government, they've struggled as far as to even destroy relationships with a lot of stuff. They've even used marriage as a way to destroy relationships. But unfortunately, like not a lot of people don't see the actual connection there. But Honestly, if you want to know more about that, I recommend you to just look into it for yourself. I'll even get people to, since that's a controversial subject, I'll even give people the benefit of the doubt. But you gotta understand that this organization has its claws in just about every aspect that life has to offer when it comes down to enjoyment and entertainment and whatnot. Even well-being, man, even well-being. As far as things that are good for us, things that are bad, and it seems like they would rather divert a lot of people's attention from the good things, or rather have people's attention directed towards the bad. You know, it's crazy. It really is. As for myself, I don't really see myself getting into another relationship. At least not with this organization that's going on, because honestly, if I do settle down, if there's a chance that I may ever, like settling down, and the woman I end up settling on with bears my children, you know something? I would not want to bear. I would not want to have kids raised in society. Not while society's like this. At least not like this. And I feel bad for the parents that are out there now, has to deal with this as well. Like, it's insane. It's insane, man. But it's not more. I'm not saying this to be cruel or anything. I'm saying more like I wouldn't want to expose them to a society as that that's as corrupt like this, because it's like, I mean, no one wants to. If anybody, like, if let's say God gave a soul a choice, right? Let's say God created a soul, and God decided to give the soul a choice, but God actually let the soul know, look, I can let you live a life. You got to go through that, and then you got a choice, but you got to understand this and this and this are already out there, and you're gonna most likely have to deal with those, as well as there are things you can receive, but there will be obstacles that will be laid before you. I believe that anyone, if any soul had the choice, they would have chosen not to really go through life. I'm gonna be honest about that, because just looking at the scenario with this, of how much corruption is out here, how much death, destruction, the lies, the deceitfulness, the control, even against one's own will. It's insane, man. It really is. And some of us who have awoken are really, really blessed, because honestly, there's a large chance we could have just ended up going through life entirely, completely blindfolded without even realizing the truth. And I bet there's been a lot of people who've had that scenario, but it's gotten to the point to where it's just been so many people waking up that they can't keep it contained anymore. It's out in the truth is out there in the open now. Whether people want to accept it, whether they want to believe in it or not, it's out there. It really is. But that's gonna be pretty much it for this video. It's not really much I had to say on this topic. Just a little bit of advice when it comes to relationship. If you do, as a TI, if you do, honestly, I'm gonna be very honest. You need to be very, very cautious when it comes to this. I shouldn't even have to tell any TI when it comes to this. Just be mindful. In situations like this, they are known to use honeypotting, as well as sorry about that, as well as other many, many, many different methods, especially if you're a guy. So that's just my message for this topic for today. Remember, stay safe, be strong. I send both my prayers and love to all of you. This is MM's TI Strategy Guide. I'm over and out.